From Farm Journal, this is the Scoop Podcast, and I'm Margie Eckelkamp. Today, we're going to have a conversation with Richard Gupton. He's Senior Vice President of Public Policy and Counsel at the Agricultural Retailers Association and a repeat podcast guest. But today, talking about some upcoming, perhaps labor-related legislation with the CDL Modernization Act. So, Richard, hey, welcome back to the podcast.
It's great to be here, Margie.
So maybe let's just set the stage to get kicked off. When you talk to the ag retail members of ARA, how are they needing CDLs in their daily business, season in, season out?
Yeah. Well, one of the big things we hear from our members is, hard to find qualified workers, employees. It's a real difficult challenge, particularly drivers. If you look at the statistics from the American Trucking Association, driver shortages is a major problem, particularly during the busy time of the year for the ag sector. So you go back to 1992 or the early 90s is when a program was set up to help the retailers and the ag sector deal with the issue of being able to hire temporary restricted commercial drivers under this seasonal ag CDL program. It's also referred to as the Farm Related Services Industries restricted CDL, and it covers a number of other segments within the ag industry, including ag retailers, ag chemical mixing businesses, custom harvesters, and livestock feeders. To make sure livestock feeds transported in a timely way to ranch operations as well. So it's a program that has worked. Times have changed. The equipment's changed over the years, over the decades, and it's been a great program, but it needs to be updated to be more manageable and workable for our industry.
So you talk about, yes, this permit licensure was set up 30 years ago. There's been a lot of changes in the industry in the 30 years. Tell us a little bit more about Representative Tracey Mann's Seasonal Agriculture CDL Modernization Act. What does it include? What are those provisions?
Yeah. Well, again, we are thankful for Congressman Tracey Mann out of Kansas. There's 20 co-sponsors for that legislation. And the main things it does, and it's HR 4601, it's called the Seasonal CDL Modernization Act. You can get more information on ARA's website, aradc.org. Go to our Take Action, our advocacy site, and under Take Action to submit a letter to your House member. But there's a few things that it does. One is it authorizes online renewal of these CDLs. If you've already gotten your CDL, restricted CDL, you got a clean driving record, you should be able to renew it online. Now, some states do allow for online renewals of commercial driver's license, but this would put congressional stamp permission for them to have it for this particular program for the states that have adopted, and like 27 states have adopted this program. The other big thing is it defines for the first time ever at the federal level what is an implement of husbandry. You're saying, what is an implement of husbandry? It's basically agricultural equipment, trailers, and other things that are utilized in the ag sector. For the retail sector, it could be a liquid fertilizer tank being hauled on a trailer. And what's happened over time is those trailers have gotten heavier. The amount of liquid fertilizer, you can have up to 3,000 gallons of a liquid fertilizer, for example, or chemical to be hauled. So that hasn't changed in the law, but the trailers have gotten heavier, and they're only restricted B class CDLs can haul these products. And with the heavier weight, it's gone over the 26,000 pounds. So under federal regulations, when a combination of the trailer and truck go over 26,000 pounds, it becomes a Class A vehicle, and you need a Class A CDL. And so this legislation recognizes the changes in the weight of these trailers, which are actually safer because they've got better lighting, better breakage power from the trailer and the trucks. They're actually safer, but the weight has gone up with these newer vehicles. So the final main thing of this legislation would make sure that the gross combination weight or the gross vehicle weight from these trailers combination would not count as a commercial motor vehicle or towards a Class A CDL. And so it basically recognizes what's going on in the ag sector and makes sure they legally are operating on the road with this CDL.
Excellent. So we are talking to Richard Gupton from ARA. We will be right back to this conversation after this message from our sponsor. And we're back talking to ARA's Richard Gupton about some pending legislation that's in the works to modernize the seasonal ag CDL used by many ag retailers. Richard, this affects ag retail, but you also mentioned several other industries that use this type of licensure. ARA helped lead a coalition letter. Just talk a little bit about the stakeholders that are engaged here and why it could be a great benefit to ag retail and beyond.
Well, yeah, ARA's led a coalition. We're 67. This is national, regional, and state associations, all within the ag space. And includes grower groups, farm groups who benefit from these timely services. I mean, agriculture is weather dependent and time sensitive is when you can move these products. So you need the drivers in place to be able to move them in a timely way. And so this program will make sure that our members, our retail members, and others servicing farmers and ranchers have the necessary drivers to be able to hire and haul a product to them in a timely way. And so we're very appreciative of Congressman Mann. We're visiting with Senate offices, look for a Senate sponsor. This will likely not move on its own. It's going to be part of a multi-year highway reauthorization bill that we hope to have this as part of that as a provision. And the House Transportation Infrastructure Committee was likely taking up a multi-year bill this fall. The Senate has deadlines for requests for provisions. So we're working with a coalition. You can't really do anything on your own. You know, we're the united voice of the retailers here in Washington, D.C., but it takes coalitions to get things through Congress and bipartisanship. And so we're trying to work with all sectors of the ag community, with both Republican and Democrat members to try to get this as made a essential provision. And we view it as a win for the ag sector, a win for the economy. It does not adversely impact transportation safety. And I can tell you, Margie, over the last month, I've traveled 2 different trips over 5,000 miles on our interstates, whether it's coming down from Northern Virginia to North Carolina, down through Florida to Alabama and back, or traveling all the way out to Tucson, Arizona. And when I've traveled all across the country and all the interstates, what I have not seen on the interstates are ag implements of husbandry. So these are all localized movements of products from farm to farm or from a retail location to a farm within a 150-mile radius is how the program's set up. Again, we're not talking about 18-wheelers or the interstate. These are modern, common sense updates to a program to help improve and make more efficient movement of products in a timely way and benefit farmers and ranchers.
So, Richard, you talked about, some work to be done this fall and how this bill might move forward. Sounds like a little bit of a longer time frame into the future, but anything else that you can share at this time with our podcast audience?
No, I mentioned that we have the Grassroots Action Alert on our website. You go to aradc.org, go to the advocacy section under Take Action. You can submit comments right now to your House member. Again, we're working with Senate offices. Hope to find a Senate sponsor. If they're back home, you can even visit with their district directors, state directors as well, and build those relationships. We've encouraged other ag members that are part of our coalition to do the same. So that's a really big way to try to address this issue and move the ball forward. Because the squeaky wheel is in D.C. So you need to be active and persistent and continue to voice on behalf of the industry. Otherwise, things won't get done, and they'll be making decisions while you're kind of left behind.
Excellent. Well, Richard, thanks so much for coming back on the podcast with this timely update.
Thank you, Margie. Last thing I'll put a plug in. ARA's annual meeting is coming up the week after Thanksgiving, that first week of December. So it's a great networking opportunity and a great way to learn issues going on with their industries, like this season lag CDL, or what's going on in AI or other things that are having a direct impact on not only retailers but their farmer customers. So that's going to be taking place in Salt Lake City, Utah, December 2nd through the 4th. And we're excited about the program. A lot of great speakers, and hopefully we'll have a lot of attendees as well. And look forward to being there as well.
Yep, I will be there as well, Richard. And for folks who want to see more, I'd encourage them to go to aradc.org. And until we are back on the podcast, I wish everyone a safe and productive season.